Luckily our health refills after the boss battle for the next one. And the next one's not overly difficult, so we shouldn't need more than one ration maybe, but... yeah, this is a bit... god damn. Hey everyone, welcome to the finale, hopefully, of Metal Gear Solid Integral. We are almost at the end of the game. All I have to do now is take the PAL key upstairs and do a couple boss fights, so let's get to it. We are almost done dealing with these generic ass guards patrolling this area. I think there's one more we have to kill. Let's see, can we see him from here? No, we gotta go over Rex. Oh yeah, there he is right there, so we gotta wait until he comes in within range of the sniper rifle. One more guy to take out before the end. He should be circling around back from the left hand side of the room. He's taking his sweet ass time though. Oh, here he comes. There we go. We got him out of the way, so now we're free to enter the control room. Okay, the PAL key is still hot, that's important. Is the camera still here? I think it respawns every time you come up here. Oh yeah, we gotta throw a chaff grenade. Alright, let's insert that PAL key. It's the one on the right hand corner over here. How are you all doing today? It has been a rough week for sure. Damn, Snake, I think we've made a mistake. That's not supposed to happen.
Ready for launch.
I deactivated it.
Thank you, Snake. Now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master, what's going on?
You found the key, and even activated the warhead for us too. I really must express my gratitude. Sorry to have involved you in that silly shape memory alloy business.
Damn, Miller's a traitor.
What are you talking about?
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried. Without the threat of a nuclear strike, our demands would never be met.
What do you mean?
Without the detonation codes, we had to find some other way. That's when we decided you might prove useful, Snake.
What?
First, I thought we might get the information from you, Snake, so I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. Unfortunately, Octopus didn't survive the encounter, thanks to Fox Dot.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning? Just to get me to input the detonation code?
Huh? You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
Who the hell are you?
In any case, the launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Foxdie vaccine to me. Their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
What the? The Pentagon's plan to use you was already successful in the torture room.
There was an extra line added there.
You're the only one who doesn't know. Ah, poor fool.
Who are you anyway?
He doesn't say what the in the American version.
Want to know. If you come where I am, that is.
Where are you?
Very close by.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Campbell, you're too late.
Yeah, no shit, Campbell.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because my codec link with Master was cut off. But Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
So who is it?
Snake, you've been talking to...
Me, dear brother.
Damn, we've been bamboozled.
Liquid. How the...
You've served your purpose. You may die now.
Snake, gas! Do something! Snake, Paul Emmerich. He should be able to break through security.
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break it with an ordinary weapon.
Can't you open the security lock here?
I'll try. Just hold on for a minute.
Luckily for us, we have our gas mask over here.
I hacked into security. Snake, I'm opening the door.
So we had a hint of that earlier when Master Miller mentioned that Snake had Japanese ancestry, and the obvious question was, how would he know that if Snake never told him? Well, he knew it because Liquid knows his own ancestry, and he knows he has some Japanese DNA. So that was a little hint earlier that Master was not who he said he was. Look at him scurry off. Also, when he showed the excitement at being able to at Snake being able to enter the last key, he was a little bit too overly excited. So that's why it was so easy. Why they let him beat him so easily? Why they let him beat them so easily? Because if you think about it, Mantis could have killed him right there at any moment, and he didn't. And Vulcan Raven was a good enough mercenary to be able to kill him too, but obviously their orders were actually to keep him alive. They were just testing him this whole time. Or maybe just enjoying a final battle before they got killed, but that was why he made it this far, because they were all in it for the very beginning. Ah, we should have taken that ration. So that we have full health. But I want to see if the health meter resets after we beat the first phase of Rex. There should be rations in the arena too, so we should be alright. Let's equip that body armor though, just in case. There he is waiting for us. If you take a picture here, I think you can actually capture a ghost. I'll check those out later and see if any ghosts actually show up. So yeah, it was all one big setup from the very beginning. And Snake fell for it.
Did you like my sunglasses? You'd point a weapon at your own brother?
Why did you disguise yourself as Master?
So I could manipulate you more easily. And you performed quite well, I must say. Although the boys at the Pentagon are probably saying the same thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
Following orders blindly with no questions asked, you've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more than a pawn snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
The Pentagon only needed for you to come into contact with us. That's what killed the Armstech president and decoy Octopus.
You don't mean...
That's right. You were sent here to kill us so they could retrieve Metal Gear undamaged, along with the bodies of the Genome soldiers. From the beginning, the Pentagon was just using you as a vector to spread Fox Die.
Fox Die? It can't be. Are you telling me Naomi was working with the Pentagon?
They thought she was, but it seems that Dr. Naomi Hunter couldn't be controlled so easily.
What?
We've got a spy working in the Pentagon. He reported that Dr. Hunter altered Fox Die's program just before the operation, but no one knows how or why.
I wonder... Maybe they arrested her so they could find out the answer to that.
No doubt. But I had no idea she was motivated by such petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Die's program. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I've already added the Fox Die vaccine to my list of White House demands.
There's a vaccine?
There must be, but that woman is the only one who really knows. Anyway, it might prove to be unnecessary.
Why's that?
You were successful in coming into contact with all of us, so we must have all been exposed to the virus. It's true that the Armstech president and decoy Octopus were killed by Fox Die, but Ocelot, myself, and you, the carrier, were apparently unaffected.
A bug in the virus's programming?
Could be. In any case, if it doesn't kill you, then I'm not worried either. After all, our genetic code is identical.
So it's true. You and I are...
Yes, twins. But we're not ordinary twins. We're twins linked by cursed genes. Les enfants terribles. You're fine. You got all the old man's dominant genes. I got the flawed recessive genes. Everything was done so that you would be the greatest of his children. The only reason I exist is so they could create you.
I was the favorite, huh?
That's right. I'm just the leftovers of what they used to make you. Can you understand what it's like to know that you're garbage since the day you were born? But I'm the one Father chose.
So that's why you're so obsessed with Big Boss. Some warped kind of love.
Love? It's hate! He always told me I was inferior, and now I'll have my revenge! You should understand me, brother. You killed our father with your own hands! You stole my chance for revenge! Now I'll finish the work that Father began. I will surpass him! I will destroy him!
You're just like Naomi.
Well, I'm not like you! Unlike you, I'm proud of the destiny that is encoded into my very genes! Yeah!
Liquid, if you really wanted, you could have killed him all those years ago. You were close to him at a lot of times.
Your blood will be the first to be spilled by this glorious new weapon! Consider it an honor, a gift from your brother! Now I'll show you the power of the weapon that will lead us in the 21st century!
So if you play Twin Snakes, while you're listening to all that conversation, Liquid is actually doing flips and walking on the railing and doing all sorts of crazy stuff that kind of takes away from the cutscene. It looks a little bit too goofy.
Stop it.
It's interesting also that there's extra words in a couple of the cutscenes. Like there, Snake said damn when he reminded her of the sunglasses. He actually doesn't say that in the American version, so it's interesting that it has an English track, but some of the cutscenes have additional lines of dialogue added into them. That's pretty interesting, including the codec. Liquid's psychotic though, because if you're that difficult to kill, what does it matter if you're inferior or superior? Like, if you're that damn hard to kill, you should just be grateful. So, Liquid actually has no basis to stand on, because this man has survived a helicopter crash like it was nothing.
God help us. Metal Gear is moving. Snake, it's all riding on you now. You've got to stop that thing.
But how?
You'll have to ask Dr. Emmerich, the guy who made it.
So the Pentagon were counting on the virus taking them out, and big surprise, it backfired on them. Luckily for them, Snake is an actual hero, so he can actually fight this thing. Can you imagine if they had just sent in regular commandos with the virus inside them, and they just all got taken out by Liquid, and the rest of the Foxhound squad, they'd have nothing left.
Snake, Rex's armor is impregnable. You can't do any damage with the weapons you've got. Rex uses the latest advances in compound armor. The only way you can pierce it is with a high-performance heat round.
So what do I do?
Rex's pilot seat operates exactly like a VR system. It's got multiple sensors connected to a high-tech interface used for the controls. It's completely self-enclosed and shut off from the outside environment.
He's not using his naked eyes?
That's right. So if you could somehow destroy the sensors, do you see that round plate on Rex's left arm?
Yeah, that thing that looks like a shield.
That's a radome. If you can destroy that thing, it won't be able to use its electronic equipment.
So he'll be blinded.
Yeah, try to hit that radome with a Stinger missile.
So that will stop it?
No, Rex was designed so it can be controlled manually too.
Oh, great.
The part that looks like a beak is where the pilot seat is. In an emergency, it'll open up. Rex's armor is perfect. You can't destroy it.
You told me that already.
But the interior is a different story.
I get it. First I destroy the radome. That will force him to open up the pilot's seat.
Right. If you can shoot a Stinger missile into the cockpit, you'll destroy the computer control system.
You intentionally designed it with a weak point?
It's not a weak point. I like to think of it as a character flaw. People just aren't complete without some type of character flaw, don't you think?
I guess so. I owe you one, Otacon.
Good old Otacon. So he probably would have been fired for that if they had found out, but yeah, I think even knowing it was just supposed to be a defensive weapon based on what they told him, I think he realized that no country should probably have a completely invincible weapon. It needs to have something for you to stop it with in case it goes against you.
Snake, there's nothing I can do to help you. All I can do is cheer you on.
Because if he designed it perfectly where it didn't have that flaw and then it got captured by another country, like say Russia or China, what are you going to do then? So even back then, when he was under the impression that it was a defensive weapon, he was still thinking of
Don't die, Snake.
ways it could be used against the US.
Radome stands for Radar Dome. It is a cover protecting a super-sensitive electronic scanning array. Almost all modern combat aircraft have them. It is not just a radar system in there. That radome probably contains infrared sensors, motion detectors, and other equipment too. It is like a combination of eyes, ears, and nose all rolled into one. If you could destroy that, you might have a chance.
Probably has that thermal vision too. So the key to this fight is you wanna equip the body armor. And then you also want to throw the chaff grenades, which will confuse him since he's using electronic signals. He can't see you without the radome assisting him. So you throw chaff to confuse him. Unfortunately, we can't hit him just yet, but you do have a chance to throw some grenades. See, there we go. He's blinded now. He cannot see you. It's a pretty simple fight overall. Like I said, you just gotta keep throwing the keep throwing the grenades. There we go. Oh, camera. Camera, please, we're trying not to die here. Don't worry about him turning over like that. Because you may be within range, but even when he turns to the right, without the radar, he can't see you. And of course, the missiles home Imran in 2. So since the Stingers are homing missiles, as long as you just stay out of his way and keep throwing the grenades, he won't be able to do anything against you. It's a pretty easy boss fight compared to the second phase, which is much harder. But damn, we missed Anastasia's message about not knowing anything about Metal Gear.
Destroy Metal Gear. We're out of time. If you can't do it, I'll have to resort to my last option.
Last option?
We have a submarine prepared to deliver a full nuclear strike on the base.
What the hell?
So they were always gonna blow it up just in case Snake failed. Just in case. Of course, that would open them up to a lot of criticism from the public. But at that point, they wouldn't care anyway. Okay, so we got hit once, but we only took a tiny bit of damage because of the body armor. And of course they gave you a generous helping of Stinger missiles here, just in case you didn't pick up enough from before, or if you didn't have any at all. Alright, I think 1 or 2 more, he's almost finished. And there's no use for the chaff grenades anyway after this, so you might as well waste them all. Ooh. Snake did not run fast enough for that one. Yep, 1 more should do it. There you go, they even give you chaff grenades just in case. It's a pretty simple battle overall. There we go. Not bad at all. He's done for the moment. But he will get up again in a couple minutes. Metal Gear Rex does look pretty cool. Ray looks more sleek, but Rex definitely looks like something the army would make.
Gray Fox. A name from long ago. It sounds better than Deep Throat. So it is you. You're a terrible snake. You haven't aged well.
I'll send you back to hell!
There's a bit of foreshadowing right there. I never understood what he meant when I first played this game. Because I'm thinking, is this Snake just in his 30s? Like, how terrible can he actually look? And you don't notice it because of the graphics, but yeah, this definitely becomes important later on. How badly he's aging.
Why? What do you want from me? I am a prisoner of death. Only you can free me.
Fox, stay out of this. What about Naomi? She's hell-bent on taking revenge for you.
Naomi?
You're the only one who can stop her.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then, and couldn't bring myself to kill her too. I felt so bad that I decided to take her with me. I raised her like she was my own blood to soothe my guilty conscience. Even now she thinks of me as her brother.
Fox.
From the outside, we might have seemed like a happy brother and sister. But every time I looked at her, I saw her parents' eyes staring back at me. Tell her for me. Tell her that I was the one who did it.
They changed that line in Twin Snakes. Instead of saying that, he said he trembled with fear, which doesn't have really as much impact.
Here's a final present from Deep Throat.
More missiles.
I'll stop it from moving.
So if Fox wasn't suicidal, you think he could have taken this down this whole thing by himself? I think so, because he's got the blaster in his right arm. I think that's like I used to think it was a plasma weapon or something, but I think it's a miniature railgun. But he's got that. He had this stealth camo which he could have used.
In the Middle East, we don't hunt foxes, we hunt jackals. Instead of foxhounds, we use Royal Harriers.
Fox.
How strong is that exoskeleton of yours? Snake, are you just going to sit by and watch him die?
Cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't so bent on dying, I think he could have beaten him by himself. He didn't even need Snake.
Impressive! You are indeed worthy of the codename Fox, but now you're finished!
No! Fire the stinger!
Fox, can you really shoot? You'll kill him too!
And we see what Raiden can do, so I think, yeah, he could have beat him on his own.
In front of you, I can finally die. After Zanzibar, I was taken from the battle.
Can't do it.
Neither truly alive nor truly dead. An undying shadow in a world of light. But soon,
It's no good. I can't do it.
This was so gripping when I first played it. Also, during this cutscene in that Twin Snakes version, he's actually doing all sorts of flips and stuff.
We're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake, farewell.
Yeah, he's doing all sorts of moves, and it's impressive. It shows what he can do, but at the same time, the voice acting isn't as good, so I think the power is reduced.
Foolish man! He prayed for death, and it found him. You see, you can't protect anyone, not even yourself. Die!
Yeah, there's no coming back from that. He's just a smear now. So yeah, he's doing all sorts of flips and maneuvers in the Twin Snakes version while shooting at Rex. And like I said, it does show what he's capable of, but I think the power of the performance is reduced because they got this actor called Rob Paulson who apparently did some Ninja Turtle voices too. He also did that among a whole bunch of video games and other TV shows and stuff, but he's a good voice actor, but he doesn't have the power or the gravitas that this guy had. Now let's take cover. Yeah, so it looks more visually spectacular in Twin Snakes, but it doesn't have quite or even nearly the emotional power it has over here. The performance is just kind of off, and it just seems way too over the top and not focused enough on the emotion.
Colonel, Fox is dead. I know. God rest his soul. Even a soldier needs more to live for than just fighting. Maybe if he'd found something else, he wouldn't have been so haunted. He was too simple, too pure. There was nothing in this world for him to believe in, so he chose to believe only in himself. I guess you're right. A man like Fox is really only looking for his death. Yeah, but if you ask me, there's no happiness to be gained in death. No peace either. I'm gonna leave here alive. Good. I want that too.
And also, he said he was a young soldier there when he killed Naomi's parents. But in the Metal Gear Solid 2 version, in Nastasha's book, they refer to him as a child soldier. So that explains why he killed them. Like, he wasn't trying to be a cold-blooded murderer. He just didn't know what he was doing. He was being taken advantage of by other people. That's why he felt guilty. And Nastasha speculates that that his guilt obviously has some basis in being a child soldier to begin with, and that it affected him for the rest of his life. That's her speculating. I think it was more just plain guilt. I don't think he necessarily took age into account, but I think it was just more plain guilt. And it wasn't a compulsion like she described it as. I think he, like he said it right there, he just felt guilty for what he'd done, and he tried his best to make amends for it. But it's interesting what a difference that terminology makes, because young can be 18, 20, 24, 25. You don't know how old young is when he says it like that, but then when they say he's a child soldier, he's probably like 8 or 10 or 12 at the most, so it definitely makes a huge difference. You know? It makes a huge difference in his actions and why he did them.
I saw it in President Baker's top secret files. Rex has a free electron laser mounted on its belly. It's a laser weapon that discharges a laser beam into an electron beam that's been accelerated using giant magnets. It can generate an incredible amount of energy, pretty close to 100 megawatts. That's 10 times greater than any other laser out there.
And people laugh at him and Campbell having that discussion about Fox while he's being bombarded by missiles, but I think in real time Snake was probably hiding behind some of those barrels or something, or some of the crates, so that Liquid wouldn't spot him, because obviously you wouldn't just run at the damn thing in real life. You try to find some cover first and shoot from there. So I can imagine him taking a bit of time to have that conversation with the Colonel, because he's not out in the open in the story. He's probably hiding behind something that Rex can't destroy, like those crates. You know, he wouldn't just have that conversation right out in the open, regardless of appearances. He probably is taking cover at that point.
If you can shoot a Stinger missile directly into the cockpit, maybe you can destroy it. Come on, Snake. Win.
Use your Stinger missiles carefully. If you run out, you'll have no chance to win.
If Rex steps on you, it'll be all over. Be very careful when he gets close.
Alright, so there's not much useful information here. I think the only thing you can really do is try to blind them with the stun grenades, or else just run straight at him towards the middle so he can't use his missiles effectively.
Come on, Snake, you can...
But there's not much else you can do. It pretty much is almost a matter of luck. Yeah, so if you stick close, he can't quite use the missiles. Ugh. God damn, that was some epilepsy stuff right there. If you suffer from that illness, that definitely would have triggered it right there. There we go. I was wondering, Snake threw the damn grenade. What are you waiting for? Yeah, you basically just have to keep shooting and moving. I guess story-wise, in terms of what Snake's actually doing, I guess it helps that he took out the radar dish, because Liquid's not nearly as skilled. He's not nearly as skilled using it manually compared to using the sensors. Especially since they've only been there, what, like a few days, pretty much, a week? They have not been there long, so chances are he hasn't... Damn. God damn. Chances are he hasn't really had much time to learn how to use the damn thing. You know, he hasn't had that much training in it so far. The difficult part is targeting the cockpit. That's the... God damn. Damn, wrong grenade. That's not it. Yeah, I've seen people really struggle with this when they're playing the game. I think because the window to hit him is so small, that's what leads you to struggle a bit. It's a bit difficult to accurately aim at him when you're targeting the cockpit compared to the radar dish. Because for the radar dish, it'll hone in automatically, but for this one, you really have to be on point. Yeah, would have been dead right there if not for the body armor. God damn. It is considerably harder, as you can see. Especially since he does not stand still. Because why would you? Obviously, you're trying. If you're trying to take out a mobile targets, best not to stand still. But it does make the fight a lot more difficult. But the quick select button does help a lot. That you can unequip the Stinger missile and re-equip it quickly. That helps a lot. God damn. Luckily our health refills after the boss battle for the next one. And the next one's not overly difficult, so we shouldn't need more than one ration maybe, but... Yeah, this is a bit... God damn. Let's see, I think one more should do it. There you go. Got him.
Snake.
Versus Metal Gear Rex.
Crush you into dust.
I think they do give us a ration on top of Rex for the next battle, so it should be alright. Like I said, it's not a difficult battle either. Now the question is, how did they get Rex working again 9 years later after Snake destroys it like that? I'm guessing Liquid and his crew must have done some minor repairs on it before Snake got to Shadow Moses Island again in 4. Because otherwise, how would Otacon be able to get it working again if it suffered that much damage? So I guess maybe they repaired it a little bit, but they couldn't really repair it that much, and then Otacon did the rest. And of course this bastard survives. So fun fact, during this scene when Snake is out cold, he's actually having a conversation with the Patriots. Or rather with an agent of the Patriots, telling them he's coming after them. According to Nastasia's book.
Sleeping late as usual. A snake.
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die as long as you still live.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I am done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
A world where warriors like us are honored as we once were, as we should be.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young, during the Cold War, the world needed men like us. We were valued then. We were desired. But things, are different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict will breed conflict. New hatreds will arise. Then, we'll steadily expand our sphere of influence.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what type of a balance was best.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't it reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie! So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy all the killing. That's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face when you did it. It was filled with the joy of battle.
You're wrong.
There's a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way.
Created?
The speech about them needing the soldiers hits much harder when you play Metal Gear Solid 3. And you realize what Big Boss was actually trying to
Les
do.
enfants terribles. The terrible
Not what Liquid thinks he was
That's
trying
what
to
the
do.
project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was the man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby method.
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells, and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all of the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The Genome Soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy. But they're different. They're digital.
This makes a lot more sense when
With
you
the
realize
completion of the Human Genome Project,
Liquid is just
the
insane.
mysteries of humanity were laid bare.
like none of this has any basis in fact or even the story. He's just insane.
Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking to the proverbial killer instinct. Those soldier genes were transplanted into the members of the next generation Special Forces. That's how they became the Genome Soldiers. That's right. The Genome Soldiers that you've been killing are our brothers with the same genes as ours.
It's not really the same thing, Liquid. Not the same thing at all.
Genome Soldiers.
That's right. They are our brothers, created artificially through the alignment of nucleotides to mimic our father's genes. They too are the product of numerous sacrifices.
Sacrifices?
Human experiments! 1991, the Gulf War. The military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome that hundreds of thousands of returning soldiers complained about was a side effect of it.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to depleted uranium used in the anti-tank rounds.
That was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological weapons. The poison gas detection units and the anti-sarin injections, they were all just a cover-up of the secret genetic experiments.
So then, the so-called Gulf War babies that have been reported by Gulf War veterans are...
Yes. They too are our brothers and sisters.
This I can believe that the powers that be in the Metal Gear universe did use the Gulf War. You know, they use it as a hotbed for experiment.
They're a complete failure. We are on the verge of extinction.
What?
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends to favor asymmetry. Those species which have gone extinct all show signs of symmetry. The genome soldiers suffer from the same problem. Signs of symmetry. So do I. As do you. That's right. We are all on the verge of death at the genetic level. We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive. Do you know why? It increases the chance that their genes will be passed on to a new generation. Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. It's called the selfish gene theory.
You're telling me that your genes are ordering you to save the genome soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose of passing on their parents' genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me. And then I'm going to go beyond. In order to break the curse of my heritage. And to do that, first, I will kill you. Look behind you!
Meryl! Is she alive?
I'm not sure. She was alive a few hours ago. Poor girl kept calling your name.
Meryl.
Stupid woman. Falling in love with a man who doesn't even have a name.
I have a name.
No! We have no past, no future, and even if we did, it wouldn't be truly ours. You and I are just copies of our father, Big Boss.
Let Meryl go.
As soon as we've finished our business, we're almost out of time.
You're talking about Fox Die.
No. It seems now that the Pentagon knows that Metal Gear is destroyed. They've arrived at a decision. They won't even need a BDA. If you want the details, why don't you ask your precious Colonel Campbell?
Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me.
The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS.
What for?
To bomb the place.
What?
Not only that, B-2 bombers just lifted off from Galena Air Force Base. They're carrying B-6113 surface-piercing tactical nuclear bombs.
What? Metal Gear is destroyed. Tell the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Defense heard that Naomi double-crossed us, and he's worried about Fox Die. Now that there's no more danger of a nuclear strike from Metal Gear, he's going to do whatever's necessary to cover up the truth of what really happened here.
He's going to drop a nuclear bomb to vaporize all the evidence along with anyone who knows anything.
Don't worry, Snake. I'll stop the nuclear strike.
How?
I may only be a figurehead here, but I'm still officially in command of this mission. If I issue an order to delay the strike, it'll confuse the chain of command and at least buy you some time. It'll give you a chance to escape.
But, Colonel, if you do that...
It's okay, Snake. The truth is, Foxhound was already the subject of an undercover investigation. Meryl was transferred to this base just before the terrorist attack as a way of manipulating me.
Those bastards.
I'm sorry. They forced me to cooperate in exchange for her life. You better get out of there, Snake.
Are you sure? It'll be bad for you.
Don't worry. It's the least I can do for you, after all the lies.
Colonel.
I'm ordering them to cancel the bombing run. After that, there's no turning back. What? What are you doing? What?
Snake!
Mei Ling, what happened to the Colonel?
I don't believe it.
What happened?
Snake, the Colonel!
Roy Campbell has been relieved of duty. This is the Secretary of Defense, Jim Houseman.
Put the Colonel back on.
He's been placed under arrest for leaking top-secret information and for the crime of high treason.
Ridiculous.
Yes, he's a ridiculous man. He truly believed that he was in command of this operation.
You bastard.
There won't be a speck of evidence left. I'm sure the President would want the same thing.
President ordered this?
The President is a busy man. I have complete authority here.
How do you plan on explaining a nuclear attack on Alaska to the media?
Don't worry. We've prepared a convincing cover story. We'll simply say that the terrorists exploded a nuclear device.
Smart. You'll be murdering everyone here. The scientists, the Genome Army, everyone.
Donald, the DARPA chief, is already dead.
So, you didn't mean to kill the DARPA chief after all?
He was my friend.
And you could care less about what happens to everybody else, huh?
Well, if you give me the optic disc, I might consider saving them.
What are you talking about?
Metal Gear's test data. Donald was supposed to bring it back.
I don't have it.
I see. Oh well, that's okay. You two are an embarrassment from the 1970s. Our country's dirty little secret. You can't be allowed to live. Well, the bombs will be dropping soon, and you two have a lot of catching up to do. Farewell.
The DARPA chief needed to make better friends than that guy.
There's no way out for us. Let's finish this before the airstrike. You stole everything from me. Only your death can satisfy me. Only your death can return to me what is rightly mine. She'll make a beautiful sacrifice for our final battle. Do you see this? It will be the time limit for our final battle. This nuclear module is set to detonate at the precise moment of her death. If you win, you might still be able to save her. You could enjoy one brief moment of love before the end. If you cross this line, you fall. At this height, it will kill even you.
Liquor kind of looks like he's standing on nothing.
Have at you, Snake.
Is everything all right, Snake?
I think the colonel should have grabbed the gun before he made that call. Or made it in a private room so that they wouldn't have picked up on it that quickly.
Win, Snake, win!
Now this never made sense to me that the bomb would detonate at the moment of Meryl's death. I guess what he means is that if Snake failed, he would kill her, he would shoot her, and then that would set off the bomb. But then what happens when Snake wins? I guess he just turns off the module by himself.
If you look like you're about to fall off the back of Rex, press any button rapidly. You'll be able to climb up more quickly.
Snake, it is just you and Liquid now. There is no advice I can give you. Trust yourself. You have got to win.
So while they're fighting, Nastasha herself is actually being threatened by someone who's overseeing the operation in her own home. That's something you find out in Metal Gear Solid 2 in the book that she wrote. So the thing about Liquid, before we go to the battle, the thing about Liquid is people point out that, you know, that everything he says is kind of like it's a big misunderstanding of the complexity of genetic engineering and genes and all this stuff, but it makes a lot more sense when you realize Liquid is insane. And Venom Snake was probably the man who told him all that crap, so Venom was a bitter man, so I can see them, and even Big Boss, feeding Liquid that story just to turn him against his creators. And it's not necessarily rooted in fact or anything, you know, it doesn't have any basis for reality. Because if you, spoilers for the story later on in Metal Gear Solid 4, but the goal was always just to create clones of him, of Big Boss, that's it. It wasn't to create some superior soldier, it wasn't to dabble in huge amounts of genetic engineering or anything like that. The goal was simply to create a clone of Big Boss. So I think all the rest of the stuff, even if it's a retcon by Kojima, I think all the rest of the stuff that Liquid goes about is it's just stuff that was told to him to turn him against his creators. It doesn't necessarily have any basis in reality. Especially the one who did it was Venom Snake, because like I said, he was not a well man, so he had plenty of reason to screw Liquid up and then turn him into a psychopath. So for a superior fighter, Liquid actually doesn't do much here. You can just beat him up with the same combo over and over again. His kicks do actually cause a lot of damage. More than Snake's kicks. I always feel if they actually did a remake of this is one of the battles that they should fix, because even in Twin Snakes the battle was kinda lame. You just did the same 3-hit combo over and over again. So there's no real depth to it the way there is in the battle from Metal Gear Solid 4, which has CQC and combos and a whole bunch of stuff. One thing, you can't throw him, because if you do, he just flips over. Also, the thing about Liquid, I think it's kind of similar to Mantis. Remember what they said about Mantis, that he dove too deeply into the mind of that serial killer and became just like the killer? I think Liquid kind of suffered the same thing, because he talks about there being no purpose to life other than, you know, to pass on your genes, but he's got an actual supernatural agent and a psychic in his squad, so like he should know better. If life was purely about just passing on your genes, that those guys you know, those guys wouldn't even exist. The fact that you have an actual supernaturally powered shaman in your squad and a psychic kind of disproves your own theory about there being nothing more to life than just genes, because obviously those guys have actual supernatural power, so clearly there's something more. He just doesn't want to admit it. I think he got too deep into that misinformation that Venom Snake and possibly Big Boss fed him, and then that's why he believes all this shit about, oh, I have to do what my genes order me to and there's no other purpose to life. I think because they just screwed up his mind so severely that he can't snap out of it. It's kind of like Mantis, where he just can't snap out of the vision that serial killer kind of transferred over to him. And it's the same thing. Liquid's been believing this stuff for so long that he kind of needs it to exist. He can't survive without it. It justifies everything that he does, instead of having to look at himself and realize, oh, it's not my genes telling me to do this shit. I chose to do all this stuff. You know, I chose to become a terrorist. It wasn't my genes ordering me to. It wasn't even Big Boss. It was him. So he's delusional. He's trying to blame everyone but himself for his decisions. God damn. Damn, he was about to charge and he just did not get anywhere. There he goes. Versus Liquid Snake. And despite his claims of being superior, he still survives that fall. So yeah, he was just full of shit the whole time. He's just delusional. He's an incredible physical specimen, but he just his mind is beyond saving at that point. He's just insane. He's a tactical genius, but he's insane, pretty much. And Ocelot knows it. I do wonder what would have happened if Liquid had chosen to go with Ocelot. Like, would, you know...
Oh, you're alive. Thank God.
Would Ocelot have ensured that he survived somehow?
Meryl, are you okay?
Are you okay? Is that all you can say?
Meryl, it must have been terrible.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. I didn't give in to the torture.
Torture?
And things even worse than that.
Good old Ocelot.
I was fighting too. Just like you.
You're a strong woman.
Fighting them made me feel closer to you. I felt like you were there with me. It gave me the strength to go on.
Her hair is huge in
But I
that
was
scene.
scared.
I mean, pretty much all game.
I'm sorry.
Don't say that. But it made me realize something. During all the pain and shame, there was one thing I was sure of. A single hope that I held on to. And that hope kept me alive. Snake, I wanted to see you again.
Meryl.
So I think the scene with Otacon is more poignant, but this one's okay too.
Snake, it's me.
Otacon, good news. Meryl's okay.
All right. You saved her, man. Good job.
I got some bad news, too. We're about to be bombed.
Oh, boy. I guess we're considered expendable.
Is there a way out of here?
A way out? Yeah. You can take the loading tunnel to the surface. There's a parking garage right next to you. The tunnel leads from there to the surface.
The door in front?
No. It's a small entrance to the west of that door.
How about the security?
I just unlocked it. Who do you think you're talking to? I'll take care of security along your escape route, too.
What are you going to do?
Me? I'll stay here.
Are you crazy?
I need a little more time to take care of your escape route.
But...
Unlocking the security doors is difficult work. Only I can do it.
Otacon.
Don't worry. I'm staying here. It's my own decision.
Otacon, this is a hardened shelter, but they're going to use a surface-piercing nuclear bomb. It won't hold.
I'm through regretting the past. Life isn't all about loss, you know. Snake, I'm a complete person now. I've found a reason to live.
Good. Don't die on me.
Same to you. Take care of Meryl, okay?
I will.
Okay, I gotta go. I promise I'll do something about your escape route.
Thanks.
Thanks? Well, that sounds nice.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Snake.
The start of the bromance right there.
What about him? Where's Otacon?
He's fighting right now. With his old self. To be the man he wants to be.
He's fighting for us too?
Yeah. And I don't want it to be in vain.
Me too.
She doesn't know how to pronounce Otacon. That's funny. You figure Snake, once you jump down there and you see Liquid's not there, that should be some clue that he's still around, because if he was dead, his body would be right there. Unless he just went off somewhere to bleed to death. But come on, you should have known right there he was still alive.
I must be heavy.
Looks like we're not gonna have a love scene after all.
Looks that way. Too bad.
Let's get out of here.
Snake, it's freezing outside. You need some clothes.
There's my sneaking suit.
Why didn't Liquid even take off the top part of his suit? He's got a weird shirtless fetish going on. Guess maybe he wanted to see if they were built equally built.
Looking good, Snake.
He was like, oh, how do I compare to my twin brother? I have to see if he has the same six-pack abs and muscles I do. Because why else would he take the top part of his uniform off? There's no reason for it whatsoever. It doesn't affect the fight at all. So that was just Liquid trying to be a weirdo. One thing about this guy that that's the Secretary of Defense, that when I was a kid, and I'm sure it's laughable, but when I was a kid I didn't really look closely at his drawing in the manual, so I thought all those lines around his chin were wrinkles. I didn't even realize he had a beard. You know, I didn't check the manual closely, so I just assumed it was wrinkles. I didn't even realize it was a beard until later. And people on the stream asked, how did I not know that it was a beard? Well, because I didn't look closely at his design and in the artwork in the game manual. I just kind of perused over it quickly and moved on, so I didn't even realize it was a beard. I thought it was just the wrinkles on his face.
Snake, they've placed the Colonel under arrest. I don't know what I should do. This will probably be your last save.
I'm going to miss those proverbs of yours.
Snake.
Mei Ling, I have a favor to ask you. Make a hard copy of all the codec conversation data up to this point. I want some insurance.
Okay, Snake, leave it to me.
It's funny he says that, and then in the second game he calls her a chattering nanny. So I guess the fondness for her proverbs only lasted as long as this mission. After that he went back to finding it annoying. And they don't speak again consistently, I guess, until like Metal Gear Solid 4. Even though she helps them out from time to time.
Snake, please. Be safe for me.
Yeah, the scene with Otacon in place of Meryl and the Otacon ending is more poignant and more philosophical, but I think it's just a bit difficult to look at the love scene between Snake and Meryl now and realize that they didn't even last like even more than just a few months in a relationship. She just moved on without him, and he was just whatever. I wonder if it was the whole philanthropy thing that he starts with Otacon, or if they just went their separate ways naturally. But yeah, she becomes really jaded and bitter by the time of Metal Gear Solid 4. Almost like not even the same person. She just changed drastically. I wonder if that was the reason why they didn't stick together. I know in terms of the actual game development, Kojima said he wanted to focus on the friendship between Otacon and Snake. That was why he didn't include Meryl. But story-wise, I wonder if Snake kind of saw some of her uglier qualities early on and just realized, you know what, the hell with it. I'm not cut out for this. You know, someone else can deal with her. Because he even says at one point in at one point to Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2, no, he says it to Otacon during the tanker incident. I've had enough of tomboys. So I'm guessing there were certain parts of Meryl that once he looked really closely and had a good examination of how she lived from day to day, he decided he really did not like. Yeah, when he says, besides, I've had enough of tomboys, referring to Olga. But he was obviously talking about Meryl. So I wonder what really went on with them during those few months that they were together after Shadow Moses. Also, one last thing about Gray Fox, when the Colonel says he was too pure, I've seen people misinterpret that as, oh, how can he be pure if he murdered those two people in cold blood, Naomi's parents? But the thing is, I think he was just referring to his belief system, you know, like Fox was searching for a reason to fight and he couldn't really, well, a reason to live, and he couldn't really find one. So yeah, when Snake says that he's too pure, he's not referring to Fox being innocent of any crimes or stuff like that. He's just referring to the fact that he really had no reason to keep going. He could never really find something that I guess that made him feel fulfilled. That was why he kept returning to the battlefield over and over again, because like Snake, that was really the only joy he found in life, just fighting on the battlefield. He didn't really have anything else to live for. So That was what Snake meant. I think he was just well, they said it. Like I said, he just didn't have any real reason to live. He wanted something simple that he could devote his life to, and he didn't really find it. It doesn't mean that he's innocent of any of the crimes he committed. It just means that you know, like he never really found a good purpose for his life, and that was why I guess the people who had him as a child soldier could use him that way. And then even Big Boss used him a little, even though they were supposed to be friends. But even then, Big Boss definitely used him to pursue some of his own goals, just because Frank didn't really have any goals of his own.
I'll drive. Damn, surveillance camera.
I was about to say now they took our weapons, but I remember you always lose them at this point.
No keys. All right, keys.
Oh, fuck off.
I got it, Snake. Jump in. Fire that machine gun with your weapon butt. Shoot him, Snake. Snake, hold on.
I forgot how to shoot there for a moment. Yes, you could actually shoot him for first person in this one. For this little section here, which is very useful.
Uh-oh, Snake.
Here they come!
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path. Okay, Snake, let's go.
So what exactly did Otacon do to take care of security, since there's still guards over here?
Not out of the woods yet.
Here they come!
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path.
Really? Damn. Okay, so that one didn't count. We're just gonna reload from the beginning. I think we just wasted too much time trying to take out those soldiers early on. We should just run over to the Jeep. Oh, but there's also a trophy for watching all the... or for reading all the little mission logs here. So let's see if this one gets it. Nope, so we must have missed one. I wonder which one we missed.
Hurry!
Yeah, I wonder which one did we miss? Maybe it has to be early on.
I'll drive.
Yeah, it has to be early on.
Damn, surveillance camera.
But there is a trophy for reading all the logs, so I'm guessing we must have missed one pretty early.
No keys. All right, keys.
Oh, there's the extra ration. That's what we're looking for.
I got it, Snake. Jump in.
Here we go.
Fire that machine gun with your weapon butt. Shoot him, Snake. Snake, hold on.
There we go. Killed them on our way out. So you kind of have to hold triangle and press the square button to shoot in this one. But it's easier to shoot like this than it is to shoot from the third person because it's more accurate.
We'll never make it. Okay, Snake, let's go.
Yeah, so I wonder exactly what Otacon did. I guess maybe something to do with that control station right there. Because it seems like the checkpoints are still activated and there's still guards. So what exactly did it do?
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path.
There we go.
Did it, Snake?
Because he said he was going to take care of security, but it doesn't look like he did much. Unless the main exit was just locked electronically.
Yes, Snake! It's not over yet! Liquid!
And here comes this bastard. this badass who can't die no matter what. So obviously in this story he's not taking all these bullets. I think he's just either being grazed or avoiding them completely. I do like the cinematic that plays during this section in Twin Snakes. It's pretty easy to hold him back though. Good thing that truck has unlimited ammo, right? Back off, Liquid. Go put a shirt on. There we go. I do think it maybe goes on a little bit too long. Kind of makes it a little bit ridiculous that he won't die. They could have cut a few seconds off that fight right there. Look at that, we're outside in Alaska again. Right at the edge of a cliff. Or is that a glacier? No, it's probably a cliff. I don't think they would build a base on top of a glacier. You know, too many stability issues.
Meryl, are you okay?
Yeah, just a little shook up.
Meryl, can you move?
It's no good. I can't move.
What happened to Liquid?
I can't see him either.
This took way less than I anticipated. Because we're only at an hour 17 minutes right now, so I thought it was going to be like 2 hours minimum.
Snake!
Here he comes. It's the shirtless factor. It's being without a shirt that gives him power.
Snake!
Who else did Ocelot learn it from? So it's funny that in Nastasha's book, he tells the agent who's overseeing her that he's not gonna die from Foxdie, that they'll never kill him with that virus. And what do you know? Like half an hour later, just a few minutes later, he actually does die from the virus. Maybe he cursed himself by saying that.
Don't say it, Snake.
You know, karma got him. He was bragging about, oh, the virus can't kill me, and yep, there it killed him. So
No stealth bombers in sight.
he probably should have kept his mouth shut instead of taunting that one particular agent.
Snake, can you hear me?
Colonel.
Are you okay?
Colonel, what happened?
The Secretary of Defense has been arrested. Early retirement.
Arrested?
I was able to get into contact with the President. Metal Gear, the training exercise, all of it. It was all the Secretary of Defense acting alone.
Acting alone? What happened to the air raid and the nuclear strike?
The orders were rescinded. The F-117s and the B-2 Spirits have returned to the base. Once again, I have complete authority over this operation.
I see.
Washington isn't stupid enough to use nukes to cover up a few secrets.
I wonder about that.
In any case, the danger's over.
Our version of Washington is, though.
Colonel,
Our real life Washington definitely is that stupid.
Fine.
Really? Thanks. Thank you, Snake. Snake, I'm sorry. I kept a lot of things from you.
It's okay, Colonel.
Snake, I'm not a colonel.
Oh, that's right.
I've got a present for you. There's a snowmobile close to you. Mei Ling saw it on the satellite photos. This time of year, the glaciers are pretty calm. You should be able to ride right out of there. I'll bet the boys at the DIA and the NSA never expected you to come home alive.
Me neither. I better not show my face around here.
No danger of that. You two officially died after your Jeep sank into the ocean.
That's not too far from the truth.
Also, there's a helicopter waiting for you on Fox Island.
Dr. Hal Emmerich should be somewhere on the base. I want someone to bring him in.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Okay, Roy. Are you gonna be okay?
Don't worry. I've got an insurance policy. A hard copy of all Mei Ling's data. As long as I've got that, you, me, and Mei Ling will be fine.
The battery on these nanomachines will run out soon. They won't be able to follow us.
I guess we won't meet again.
Don't worry. I'll pay you a visit sometime.
Really? I look forward to that.
Roy, just tell me one thing.
What?
About Fox Die.
Meryl will be fine. She wasn't included in its programming.
What about me? It killed Liquid.
Naomi said that she wants to talk to you face to face about that.
How is she?
Don't worry. Mei Ling is with her right now. I'm switching over to Naomi.
Snake, it's me.
Naomi.
I heard about my brother.
I'm sorry. But he had one last message he wanted to say to you.
What?
He told me to tell you to forget about him and to go on with your own life.
Frankie said that?
Yeah. He also said he'll always love you. Naomi, your brother just saved you, me, and the whole world. He fought with every ounce of strength in his body.
Maybe. Maybe now he's finally found some peace. He wasn't really my brother anymore. Ever since he fought with you in Zanzibar, he's been like a ghost. A ghost looking for a place to die.
Oh, Snake lied to her. But at the same time, that shows Snake does have a heart. Even if they didn't think he did.
Naomi, Liquid died from Fox Die too. What about me? When am I gonna go?
That's up to you.
What do you mean?
Everybody dies when their time's
That's not the
up.
question, Naomi.
Yeah, so when's mine up?
It's up to you how you use the time left to you. Live, Snake. That's all I can say to you.
There she starts with her shifty, shady bullshit. Goddamn, Naomi sucks. It's funny in a way Fox is her the better sister than her.
Each person is born with their fate written into their own genetic code. It's unchangeable, immutable. But that's
I always
not
thought that
all there is
tattoo
to
looked a bit
life.
like the Soul Reaver.
I finally realized that.
Even though this was released before Legacy
I
of King Soul
told you
Reaver
the
was
reason that I
released in
interested
99.
Genes and DNA. Because I wanted to know who I was, where I came from. I thought that if I analyzed my DNA, I could find out who I was, who my parents were. And I thought that if I knew that, then I'd know what path I should take in life. But I was wrong. I didn't find anything. I didn't learn anything. Just like with the genome soldiers, you can input all the genetic information, but that doesn't make them into the strongest soldiers. The most we can say about DNA is that it governs a person's potential strengths, potential destiny. You mustn't
This was so ahead of his time
chained to fate,
at the
to be
time,
ruled by your genes.
covering philosophical and social issues like that.
Choose the type of life they want to live. Snake, whether or not you're in the Fox Die program isn't important. The important thing is that you choose life.
So I guess she's still talking to all this time. He's just headed down that mountain listening to her babble on and on.
Don't worry. I'm going to choose life too. Until today, I've always looked for a reason to live. But from here on, I'm going to just...
Well, don't worry, Naomi. Liquid's got some plans for you. He's not finished yet.
Genes exist to pass down our hopes and dreams for the future through our children. living is a link to the future. That's how all life works.
Yeah, hearing her give this speech, you would think she'd become a better person.
Teaching each other.
And we all thought that at the time. And no. 9 years later, Metal Gear Solid 4, she's still rotten to the core.
Meaning of life. Thank you, Snake.
There are some people that try to be good and they're just bad people at heart. I think Naomi's one of those. She tries to be good, but at heart she's kind of a miserable person.
Let's keep it as a reminder.
Oh, the bandana.
A reminder of a successful mission? Or the first time we met?
A reminder of how to live.
Huh?
Until today, I've lived only for myself. Survival has been the only thing I cared about in my life.
That's not just you. That's how everyone is.
I only felt truly alive when I was staring death in the face. I don't know. Maybe it's written into my genes.
What about now? What do your genes say about your future now?
Maybe it's time I live for someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah. Someone like you. Maybe that's the real way to live.
So, where to, Snake?
David. My name's David.
Okay. So where to, Dave?
I think it's time we look for a new path in life.
A new path?
A new purpose.
Will we find it?
We'll find it. I know we'll find it.
Back home to
What are
go
those?
visit our dogs. I think he's got like 50 huskies that he takes care of, so
Caribou is a symbol of life.
we've got plenty of company there, Meryl.
For us too.
Yeah. Spring brings new life to everything. It's a time for hope. I've lived here a long time, but Alaska has never looked more beautiful. The sky, the sea, the caribou, and most of all, you.
I think I'm gonna like this new life.
Come on. Let's enjoy life.
Hope you like over dramatic huskies, Meryl, because he's got a ton of them. He's got 50. Man, 50 huskies, holy shit. The memes he could have made if he'd had a recordable, a phone that could record at the time. 1980s, there were more than 60,000 nuclear warheads in the world at all times. Their total destructive power amounted to 1 million times that of the Hiroshima A-bomb. 1993, START 2 was signed, and the US and Russia agreed to reduce the number to 3,000 to 3,500. As of 1998, there still exists 26,000 nuclear warheads in the world. They updated this message and changed it in Twin Snakes. It's still slightly less, but there's a hell of a lot of nukes left in the world. Damn, I'm starting to lose my voice. My throat's getting a bit dry talking about all those huskies that Snake has at his home. This is definitely one of the greatest ending themes in a video game that I've heard. So everyone gets a happy ending except for Liquid. Snake gets a new woman and a new purpose in life. Meryl, at least for a few months, Meryl finds someone interesting to share her life with, at least for a few months, and Ocelot goes off and becomes super rich. Becomes bigger than Big Boss ever was, so everyone has a happy ending. Otacon finds a new purpose to his life too. The Colonel doesn't get arrested. He's free to go back to retirement. Everyone except for dumbass Liquid gets a happy ending. Although obviously Liquid will be back later. Police Nuts. I always wondered about that game. I still wish I could play that game. I think it's only available on the MSX computer, right? I don't think they ever ported it. Except to like the Saturn, and I think it costs like, what, like $500 on the Saturn? This was a good choice too, making the credits actual footage of Alaska to show off its beauty. I was stunned by all this because I had never seen this much footage of Alaska before when I played this as a kid. You can definitely see why Snake chose to live here in this place to find some peace, because it's definitely the type of place where you go to, you know, to find some peace in solitary, you know, existence. Just you and nature. You can reflect on stuff, you can forgive stuff that you've done. What a game, huh? Who knew this would be the start of a legendary series at the time? Obviously there have been a few games before on the MSX computer, and then the one on the NES that was kind of like a bastardized version of Metal Gear, unauthorized. Nothing about that game is canon. But this was definitely the start of a legendary series. Yeah, that NES sequel to Metal Gear is whack. Like the villain is they were making a play on Ayatollah Khomeini from the 80s at the time, so like the Nintendo decided the villain for that one, for like the NES Metal Gear, would be called, I think they said it was like Hyarola Cockamani. It was just some weird stuff that Nintendo put in there because they didn't know what Kojima actually wanted to do with the story. They just wanted a sequel. Yeah, for Snake's Revenge, they just wanted a sequel, so they did one on their own and it was trash. It was bullshit. I've heard a couple people defending that game over the years, but no. It's just that game sucks. That's why nobody counts that as canon at all. So yeah, what a game. It still holds up many years later. It still holds up many years later. Except for the graphics. That's the only part that's diminished a bit. And the fact that Snake doesn't have nearly as many abilities as he does later on. Like you can't really fight all that well, or you can't really roll to dodge gunfire, that stuff like that. You know, it's hard to climb over certain obstacles, but you know, as a PS1 experience, it definitely still holds up many years later. I guess I wouldn't mind seeing it remade again if they absolutely need to, but hopefully they'd get David Hayter back and then get some actors that would be interested in the performance, because I think the old ones are all retired and they already did it twice for this one, and then Twin Snakes they wouldn't want to do it a third time, so David would probably be the only one back, and maybe the guy who plays the Colonel. But I don't think it's necessary. I think they should just find a way to port Twin Snakes over to modern consoles and leave it at that. There's no need to remake this game. It's not Silent Hill where you can see the shortcomings blatantly on screen, and there's a lot of stuff that could really be improved and tuned up, and you know, Silent Hill's pretty much been unavailable for like the past 10 or 15 years on modern consoles, so it's not that. I think you can very easily leave this be and have it still hold up the way it does. It's not necessary to remake it again, unless you're just plain starving for ideas at that point. So yeah, I played this one. I'm gonna play Metal Gear Solid 2 for sure, and 3. I don't think I'll play Delta. I think I'm gonna wait on Delta, because I think I'm just gonna... I wanted to rent it from Gamefly, but I think I'm just gonna pass on it and see if it goes down later in price. That way we don't have to worry about hurrying and beating everything in like a week or two. We can just take our time. I want to see if it goes down for Black Friday or next year.
You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes.
Yep, there's the dogs.
Humans can choose the type of life they want to live.
Snake and Meryl probably taking a ride.
Choose life, and then live.
The Twin Snakes also screwed that message up too. They added the line about Fox Die, even though it wasn't really relevant.
Yes, sir. The entire unit was wiped out.
Here we go, the famous call.
Those two are still alive. The Vector? Yes, sir. Fox Die should become activated soon. Right on schedule.
Yes, sir. I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead data. No, sir. My cover is intact. Nobody knows who I really am. Yes, the DARPA chief knew my identity, but he's been disposed of. Yes, the inferior one was the winner after all. That's right. Until the very end, Liquid thought he was the inferior one. Yes, sir, I agree completely. It takes a well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world. No, sir. No one knows that you were the third one, Solidus. What should I do about the woman? Yes, sir. I'll keep her under surveillance. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. President.
Damn, so Ocelot was working with the president all along. I used to think the woman was Meryl, but I think he's actually referring to Naomi now. When he says, I'll keep her under surveillance, he's definitely going to keep her under surveillance because he's going to take her captive and force her to work for him. So he'll definitely be keeping her under surveillance for the next few years. But the stuff about the inferior one and the superior one, like I think so. So Solidus obviously believes the same crap that Liquid did, and Ocelot is pretty glad to feed it to him. I think that's why I think Solidus himself wasn't really knowledgeable about what their real intentions were when they created the two twins, and then him afterwards. He knows some stuff, but not all of it, because he's still under the same deluded impression Liquid was that there's an inferior one and a superior one, and then it turns out once we reach Metal Gear 4 that none of that actually mattered. The goal was simply to create a clone. That's it. There was no other motive than that besides just creating a clone and then using that clone as a figurehead for a certain organization and a certain commander who wanted, a big boss to serve as the figurehead for his organization. So even Solidus himself, even though he's manipulating Liquid and the others here with the help of Ocelot, even Solidus himself wasn't really in the know about everything. Well, we'll see that clearly later on when we play Metal Gear Solid 2. But man, that call definitely got everyone excited for the second game back when we first played it in 98. And then when we saw that Solidus was going to be in Metal Gear Solid 2, everyone got excited when we saw him referenced in the preview by the current president. The president we meet in that game, President Johnson. They included the line when he's speaking about Solidus, George Sears, and how he knew him as Solidus Snake. They included that line in the trailers for E3, I think. So that got everybody excited to see what Solidus is actually going to be like. Alright, so our ranking actually did pretty okay, I think. Normal, playtime 12 hours, 9 minutes, 31 seconds. We saved 44 times. No continues. We were only found 5 times, so that is definitely pretty damn good. I think the lowest you can get is actually 4, because I think there's 4 mandatory times when you're found throughout the story. They count those against you. But gameplay wise, I think there's only, like I said, I think minimum you can get is 4. So technically we only got spotted once throughout the whole game, because all the rest are just story. They're just story based alerts. There's nothing you can do to change them. Enemies, we killed 46 because again we don't have a Trent gun over here, so it's not easy to deal with them. You pretty much have no choice but to kill them. We can't CQC them like we do in later games. We can only punch and kick them, so it's pretty much you can CQC and knock out enemies very easily later on, but we don't have that right now, so we pretty much have no choice but to kill those 46 dudes. And then rations, we did use a lot of rations, 20. I think if you use a lot of them, you get like a really bad ranking. Like you get like, what is it, like hog or pig or something like that, or glutton? I don't know. You get a really bad ranking for using a lot of rations. But I hadn't played this game in quite a number of years, so I'm not surprised I had to use all those rations. But overall, it's still pretty good ranking if you ask me. It probably would have been better if we played on hard mode, but I just wanted to experience the story again for another subsequent time. I didn't really want to go all out and play on hard mode. We're not going for big boss or Fox ranking here. Special items, we got the camera and the bandana. The bandana gives you infinite ammo, which when you combine it with the tracer bullets for the FAMAS gun, you got a really powerful assault rifle right there. And the camera, we already had it, but you get it again, and it lets you take those photos, like I said. And I think you can check them later on, see if there's ghosts or not. But yeah, there we go. There's Metal Gear Solid 1. Pretty damn good game overall, even after all these years. It definitely set the standard for cinematic games at the time. And a lot of games continue that tradition now. To the point where they've almost become too prevalent. Almost everything is a cinematic game now. And people really have to get back to fun gameplay. You can have your cinematic stories, The Last of Us, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai, stuff like that. You can have that's God of War, that's fine. But sometimes it's just worth it to just play a game that you can play and enjoy for pure fun. And I like that this game actually has both. Yes, you can play for the cinematic aspect. You know, it tells a very cinematic story that would easily be at home in a Hollywood movie. In fact, considering a lot of the garbage and crap that Hollywood has put out since 1998 all the way to the present, I'd argue that this game is actually a fair amount better than most Hollywood action movies. You know, it has some real depth and heart to it that most action movies definitely do not. So it's funny, Kojima wanted to be a movie director all throughout his youth, but I think he actually did one better than Hollywood, because a lot of what Hollywood puts out, especially those generic action movies that people like Dwayne Johnson be making, do not stand up to this game at all. Period. They're just shells of what a really cinematic story should be. They're just empty and hollow. So I think Kojima actually did one better than Hollywood with this game at the time, and he definitely continued that in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. So we're gonna save completed mission data, yes. And I think we actually get the extra costumes for Snake and Meryl, where they switch. Snake has his tuxedo on, but then Meryl has a sneaking suit, which actually looks pretty good on her. Oh, there we go, decked out. We got the costumes. Wonder if we can see them. But the problem is that let's check special. Previous operations, album, demo theater, 1P view mode. 1P view mode play. What the hell is that? Oh, let's check the album. Let's see if we captured some ghosts. Let's see. Did we capture any ghosts or not? No, I don't think we did. We didn't aim it properly. Shit. That sucks. I thought it was where President Baker was at, but yeah, I guess not. What about Liquid? I think I've forgotten the locations of all the ghosts. Oh damn, we didn't capture Ghost there either. That sucks. We just captured Liquid's dumbass posing without a shirt on. That sucks. And then briefing, that's where you can view all the briefing material the Colonel gives Snake for the mission. I'm not gonna check it out because it's literally like half an hour briefing. It's fascinating to listen to. It gives you a lot of insight on Liquid and Foxhound and Meryl and the Colonel's backgrounds and Shadow Moses Island and even like the DARPA chief and all. I think even the Secretary of Defense, like they're mentioning a lot of stuff there, but it's just half an hour of watching nothing but a briefing, so I'm not going to do that. Previous operations, this tells you all about Metal Gear. Look at that, 9 pages for Metal Gear. 14 pages for Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, so yeah, if Konami ever wants to remake these two, they've got literally the scripts right here. They don't even need to go back and hire Kojima again. Although they probably should. They probably should just throw him a buttload of money and say, look at that, we're sorry for what we did to you. We apologize. Please help us remake these two games so that they're the best they can be. You know, they really should pay millions and millions of dollars to go back and help them with those. But if they don't, look at that, they literally got the scripts right here. So they don't need them to do those remakes because everything is literally written out for them. All they need to do is just modernize the gameplay and update the graphics to modern standards. Now I want to see what this is. Like, we got demo theater. I know that's row A. Those are all the cutscenes, I believe. But I want to find out, what is this? What is this? 1P view mode, disc 1. I like that graphic for the disc. Look at that, just flipping the disc. That's awesome. Hello? Huh. Obviously we can't read this because I don't understand Japanese, but I want to see if it leads somewhere. Like, is it like a boss mode or what is it? Or is it just like giving background info on the game, like behind the scenes stuff? Let's see. Okay, so he's starting over there.
This is...
Alright, Colonel. We already heard all the stuff. I just want to see what this is. Oh, I guess... Oh, can you not do first person view? I guess that's if you want to challenge yourself. Let me look it up real quick. I just want to see what it is. I guess maybe that cuts out first person view, which makes the game harder. You know, it's more difficult because now you can't predict where the enemy is. Colonel, shut up. God damn. He's so impatient. Metal Gear Solid Integral 1P view mode. I just want to see what it is. Okay, in this mode you can move and attack from a first person perspective by double tapping the triangle button to toggle between views. God damn, Colonel.
Snake.
I know we have to crawl through there, Colonel. Jackass. I was just checking the alternate game mode. Okay, let's try this out. Oh, so it's first person view mode. It's the opposite of what I thought. It's literally first person view. And you can attack in first person. Oh, that's cool. That is definitely something I did not expect. Yeah, I can see why that mode would be pretty appealing to people who want to play a first person shooter. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Maybe we'll play the game like this sometime and see what it's like. Because we definitely gotta have more accurate aiming, that's for sure. We won't need to use all those rations if we can aim at the enemy properly. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool feature. I might try that out someday, just to see what the game is like in fully first person view. And damn, Kojimo's ahead of his time even there. Even there he was ahead of his time. He gave us both options to be able to play the game. You can play it third person or you can play it first person. So he's definitely giving you a lot of options. So yeah, that's Metal Gear Solid 1 Integral. I never played this version of the game before. It's pretty damn good. You know, obviously I wish I could read Japanese so I could fully understand all that stuff, even though I've read obviously the American versions. You know, I've read all the briefings and stuff, but it's still pretty cool. I wish we could see the alternate outfit for Meryl, because I do think she looks good in that sneaking suit. But yeah, I'm not replaying this game again immediately. Maybe next time. Maybe we'll try out first person mode one day, and then we can also start from that same save file, and then we can check out Meryl's. We can see Meryl's sneaking suit and see what she looks like in it, and at the same time see how much easier or harder the game is on first person mode. I assume it's going to be easier, but you never know. Some parts could actually be harder. So yeah, we'll do that one day, but for now I'm going to take a bit of a break from it, and then we'll be back to play Metal Gear Solid 2. So yeah, like I said, great game overall, and I believe this is actually on sale right now for Black Friday. think it's $20 for the physical copy. So yeah, that I definitely advise you to pick it up if you haven't already. You can pick it up for the PS5, you can pick it up for other consoles, and yeah, you can even pick it up for the Switch. And I've heard the Switch version runs okay. Like I think the third game has a little bit of some issues, but overall I've heard it runs okay. So yeah, like I said, still a great game even after all these years. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time on Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PS5. See you later, everyone.